بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، وبعد. قال الشيخ المنقح العلامة علاء الدين المرداوي الحنبلي تغمده الله برحمته وأسكنه فسيح جنته ونفعنا به وبعلومه وعلوم مشايخنا في الدارين آمين: ولا نسلم أن الضروري لا يتفاوت ولا يلزم منه أنه لا يفيد العلم. We do not submit that what benefits certainty, or what necessarily benefits certainty, does not have a tafawut, or does not have this, does not have different levels or different grades, different degrees. And if you think that having degrees or if you think that allowing that it has degrees or it has levels, so it's not one thing, one absolute thing, it has levels, it has degrees, if you think that this or allowing this lead to the conclusion that it does not or it cannot benefit certainty, we do not submit to that. We do not see that this necessarily leads to that. It can still benefit you certainty. ولا يلزم منه أي لا يلزم من تفاوته أنه لا يفيد العلم. So there is no necessity there. Nothing is necessitated there. So we confirm that the daruri, or what necessarily benefits you certainty, can have degrees. طبعا we can discuss this, but we have to go keep up with the Shaykh. This is Ibn Muflih, by the way. We are reading the same statements that Ibn Muflih wrote in his book Usul al-Fiqh. Calling it daruri here might be problematic. If he said some other word other than daruri, it would have been less problematic. The issue here is that the daruriyat might have levels, degrees. I think we will have to allow the concept of things that mediate, but you do not notice them. Sometimes you do not notice them at all. Sometimes you notice them somehow, but you do not really notice, but you do not really take a lot of time in noticing them. That's why this might allow us to think about this concept that the daruri, what constitutes knowledge certainty necessarily might have different degrees or different levels. Having different degrees or levels does not necessitate that it does not benefit certainty. This is what we are saying here. It can still benefit certainty. This is actually the meaning of it being daruri, a necessity, or benefiting you certainty necessarily. ثم للاستئناس والمخالفة عناد. Would you please edit this version, if you have the same version, edit it ثم للاستئناس and put full stop, I think, or a comma, full stop or a comma, whatever you want, because he does not know how to read it like this. I will put a comma, okay. ثم للاستئناس. I know it might be a little bit confusing if you read it like this. ثم للاستئناس. It's like a very concise way of saying this longer sentence. I will explain it in English. And even if we submit that there are no degrees in the certainty that you benefit, so we do not say that X benefited me certainty and Y benefited me a higher level of certainty, and Z benefited me the highest level of certainty. Even if we submit to saying or to the position that prevents this, that negates this, that does not allow such such difference in, or such difference in the certainty that is benefited. Yes, no different levels, no different degrees. It's just one degree, an absolute state. If we submit to this theory, or if we submit to this position, we can still say that there are different levels of different degrees of al-isti'nas. The quality of your nafs feeling, it literally means feeling or seeking the company of the report and the factors surrounding the report that benefited the certainty. So how does it seek the company of this report? Yeah, it seeks its company, it seeks these factors that might change the level of certainty. But here we've already submitted that there is no change, that there are no degrees. It's just one absolute thing, one level, one degree. For here, the level, the degree of al-isti'nas, whether it keeps your company or not, let's say it always keeps your company, but to what extent, to what degree? Some are higher than others. Some reports will keep your company in a manner higher than other reports. Yeah, all this in thumma lil-isti'nas. It has been a very long time since I experienced something like this with you in ad-durus. I think in my history of teaching al-ilm in English, because in Arabic we went through similar things before, very few times, but we went through similar things. In my history of teaching al-ilm in English, this is probably my first time of encountering something like this. Thumma lil-isti'nas, and that's it. He leaves you there. Thumma lil-isti'nas. When I was a younger student, I used to be fascinated by these things, not by these things, by how my shaykh or some of my mashayikh would interpret them, especially the students who the level of students, or the tabaqa, the generation of students who received al-ilm from Sheikh Ali, specifically Sheikh Ali, because they used to discuss these things with him, and he was very clever at doing this because of his mashayikh and the great mashayikh from whom he received al-ilm. Please do not let politics affect you. I'm talking about al-ilm, just al-ilm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Even if we submit to you that there are no grades, there are no degrees, there are no levels, we can still argue that there are levels, degrees of al-isti'nas, this feeling of that this thing keeps my company. But this is like a literal way of explaining it, but it like supports this feeling inside your soul, inside your heart. You will find that two reports that benefit you certainty, you feel they're not contradictory or anything, but when you evaluate your experience, your reaction to them, you'll say, I felt more, maybe more trust, maybe more comfortable with this one. If I compared with the other one, I felt more whatever here, trust, company, what or so. Yeah. وَالْمُخَالَفَةُ عِنَادٌ. This is a new sentence now. A new sentence. So that's why you can have a comma or a full stop. In Arabic it's fine to have to separate sentences with commas. We do not have this concept of run-ons or anything. وَالْمُخَالَفَةُ عِنَادٌ كَمَا حُكِيَ عَنْ بَعْضِ السُّفُسْطَائِيَّةِ. As it has been narrated from some of the sophists, يعني disagreeing with this is just stubbornness, عناد. We have not explained the three sects of the sophists yet, if I remember correctly. We will cover this in a separate dars, or when the time comes here, we will comment on this. I think the time is coming soon. I think the time is coming soon. Let me check quickly. We are reading this. And the most appropriate part in which we cover السفسطائية is I think we might cover them in the next dars. Yes, let's continue. وقال رضي الله عنه, يعني if you just reject what we've already said, this is some stubbornness, أنت عنادي, and we will explain what this word technically means in a detailed way, probably in the next dars. You have to prepare the second volume of شرح روضة الناظر للشيخ العلامة نجم الدين الطوفي, and we will read from it next dars إن شاء الله. قال ابن عقيل وقال ابن عقيل رحمه الله: أصحاب سفسطى نعلم أنه لا علم أصلا. وعن بعضهم لا علم لنا بمعلوم. يعني the companions of Sophusta, that's why we call them sophists, said, we know that there is no knowledge in the first place. Yes, I think you might see how this collapses on itself. Okay, وعن بعضهم, and narrated from some of them, لا علم لنا بمعلوم, we do not have any knowledge of any known thing. وعن بعضهم لا ينكر العلم لكن لا يقوى عليه البشر, we do not deny knowledge, but we do not think humans are capable of or strong enough of having or acquiring it. So knowledge is something, but the acquisition of knowledge is not something that human beings in particular are capable of. وعن بعضهم, and from some of them, من اعتقد شيئا فهو كما اعتقده. And from some of them, if a person believes in something, then it is as this person believes it to be. Relativism, or a branch of relativism. والجواب واحد انتهى. And then he said, Ibn Aqil rahimahullah, and the answer or the response to them is one, and this is the end of it. Now, I think this covered either two of three, or the three of three, like the all of the sects, or two of three. It depends on how you perceive what we've read from Ibn Aqil. Apparently two of three, but there is a possibility that we include the third sect, and we will cover all their types in a relatively detailed manner in the next dars. قال الشيخ تقي الدين ابن تيمية رحمه الله: من أراد أن يدفع العلم اليقيني المستقر في القلوب بالشبه فقد سلك مسلك السفسطائية فإن السفسطة أنواع. Sheikh Taqi says, if a person seeks pushing away the certain knowledge that has been established in the hearts by يعني by relying on or through relying on الشبه, weak evidence, things that are not evidence but they are presented as evidence, you call them shubha. This is the reason why you call the evidence of your opponent shubha, because you do not believe in it. فقد سلك مسلك السفسطائية. If a person seeks this, then this person is seeking the path of السفسطائية, the sophists. نعم. فإن السفسطة أنواع. So sophists have types. أحدها النفي والجحد والتكذيب إما بالوجود وإما بالعلم به. The rejection and the negation of the existence of things, or the rejection and the negation, refutation of having the knowledge of the existence of things. What does this mean? You have one of two madhab here. The first madhab, things do not exist. The second madhab, they might exist, but we cannot have the knowledge that they exist. والثاني الشك والريب، وهذه طريقة لا أدرية. The second is doubt and questioning things, and this is the way of لا أدرية. Just a noun that comes from the word or for the phrase لا أدري, I do not know. So these are the ones who do not know. الذين يقولون لا ندري, and they say we do not know. فلا يثبتون ولا ينفون. So they neither confirm nor deny. لكن هم في الحقيقة قد نفوا العلم وهو نوع من النفي. And in reality they have denied knowing things or the knowledge of things, and this is some sort of negation or denial. فعادت السفسطة إلى جحد الحق المعلوم أو جحد العلم به. And this goes back to the same way of the first group, which is the denial of al-haq or truth, or denying or rejecting its knowledge, knowing it, يعني either its existence or knowing that it exists. والثالث قول من يجعل الحقائق تبعا للعقائد. The third position. So the first thing that we mentioned, العنادية, which comes from stubbornness. It's just what do you say? This exists? No, it doesn't exist. Or what is this? This is a book? No, it's not a book. It could be something else. Or no, it's not a book because no, we cannot confirm the existence of anything. The second group, لا أدرية. This is what they are called, لا أدرية. We'll repeat this next dars, by the way, in a very detailed way. So next dars could be a very good حاشية on today's dars. لا أدرية, the ones who do not know. And the third group is من يجعل الحقائق تبعا للعقائد. العندية. The first one للعنادية, the second one لا أدرية, and third one العندية. عندي, to me things are so and so. Relativists or relativism. قول من يجعل الحقائق تبعا للعقائد فلقول من اعتقد العالم قديما فهو قديم، ومن اعتقده محدثا فهو محدث. يعني it's according to your position. If your position is that this universe is قديم, then it's قديم, then it's truly قديم. And if your position that this universe is محدث, created, and it had a beginning, then it's as you say it to be. وإذا أريد بذلك أنه قديم عنده محدث عنده فهذا هو الصحيح. If they, he is saying, if they meant by their philosophy, if they meant perspectivism, that they perceive العالم to be قديم, or they perceive العالم to be محدث, and they are just expressing what they perceive. If this is what they meant, then it's true. If I tell you I believe العالم to be محدث, so my perception, my perspective is that العالم is محدث. Yes. Yeah, it would be, but they do not say so. They say it would not be problematic if I said it like this. But the way they say it is, they believe that things in reality, as you say them to be, or they consider them to be. Truth is relative. It depends on what you perceive, not what you perceived. Yeah, on what you perceive. But here, truth, not your truth, not your perception. Things as they are, this is relative. This is really dangerous. That's why in العقائد we say الحق لا يتعدد. الحق لا يتعدد. لكن السفسطة أن يراد أنه كذلك في الخارج. So we're not talking about what's inside one's heart, one's intellect. No, this is how things, this is how يعني things are in reality. انتهى. يعني this is what Shaykh al-Islam تقي الدين mentioned. Let's stop here so that we read in the next درس what العلامة نجم الدين الطوفي said on this in his book شرح مختصر الروضة. والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم، وصلي اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم، والحمد لله رب العالمين.